Showbiz.
What up?
What could be scarier for a Halloween episode than doing the teaser freezer segment?
Yes.
For a non-horror movie.
And getting locked in, yeah.
Yeah, getting stuck in the teaser freezer. So imagine you've gone in there to just like find a teaser for a dinner party or some such thing. All your friends are coming over and the door swings shut behind you as if on its own accord.
Hey! Look out here! Can anybody hear me?
That's you.
Yeah, that's you. And so I think that is sufficient connective tissue between the season of Halloween and the segment we had already planned on doing. That
also suggested by a stranger.
Suggested by a stranger, yeah. B-Face on Twitter.
And this is the last time we use any of your suggestions, so cut it out.
He wanted us to do the teaser freezer for the movie Burnt, which we were already going to do. So why don't we get into it? We'll play the theme song, which I don't think we've ever played before.
It's so cold. It's so cold in the teaser freezer. It's so cold. It's so fucking cold in the teaser freezer.
You want me to bleep that out?
Yeah, could you? I hate it.
Sure.
It's supposed to be like, you know?
Offensive.
Yeah.
The teaser freezer is supposed to be nice. Even when it's scary, it's supposed to be nice, and we don't say the F word about it.
I mean, it's not even offensive to me. It's boring. You know? I don't even get offended by that stuff, but it's just like that just like it's like swearing. It's just boring to me.
I've said this before. You can't really find a word that offends me. I can think of maybe a half dozen.
And it's like, how about using an original word?
Yeah, if you want to really offend me, use it.
There you go.
Thank you.
What? If you want to really offend me, use a word I don't know.
Yeah, use an original.
That makes me feel stupid at least.
How about like Veep cursing, where they have all kinds of inventive...
Oh, that's so creative.
They say like, what are you doing here, whatever, Jonas? You like... filthy like
you
porcupine
donkey rectum.
Yeah. Porcupine's, I guess, anus. I mean, it's usually anus or rectum.
Yeah, you hedgehog sphincter. And I'm like, okay, are they cursing? Yeah. Am I busting up? Yeah.
It's like Shakespeare. It's our Shakespeare.
It's our Shakespeare because they're making new words even better words.
So you want them to say hedgehog's anus teaser freezer in the song?
Brett.
Okay. Well, let's get into the teaser freezer. This is for Burnt. It's a movie about a very mean, badass chef. And it's played by Bradley Cooper, sort of an extension of his Silver Linings Playbook character, who was also damaged with mental problems.
Oh, yeah. This is different. For me, this is a departure for him.
Because we're used to seeing him...
Golden boy, got it all, winner, top of the world, and no real conflict.
So there's a lot at stake here with this movie for him. STEAK on the chefing food. Will he be able to keep his fan base playing a character that's so scary and rude and so messed up? And like, can you root for a guy who's like who's so
badass and so punk rock and such a dangerous presence that perhaps you would not want your children to even know?
Do I want to invite this character into my home?
Yes, because he will be sitting in your living room with you and he will be trash talking.
Nice. 16, I quit school.
Quit school at 16 already.
Just enough for a one-way ticket to Paris.
Oh my God.
One way.
That's so much money.
Maybe I just wanted it really bad, and then when I got it too early, I didn't know how to hold on to it.
Fire.
What do you want? I'm gonna run the best restaurant in the world.
motorcycle.
If you're a chef, he's like the Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones of chefs?
He's like the most badass, famous band.
Yes. And also, the Rolling Stones need like 4 or 5 guys to be the Rolling Stones. But this guy's only just one. He's not Mick Jagger. He's the whole Stones.
There's no individual person who they could have used. There's not a single one to make a connection that makes more sense to an individual chef. It's only all of the Rolling Stones.
And by the way, if you think of like, well, isn't the Beatles more famous than the Rolling Stones? And it's like, yeah, but who would more kick your ass
than Ronnie Wood? And Brett laughs like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah,
I got that. I just want everyone to know. I know, like that guy was in the Rolling Stones.
That's one of the guys from the band.
Yeah, we know, Brett.
Mike doesn't need to be on except to just check in saying like, oh, a music joke?
Oh, that's
Here I am.
area.
Shut up.
Shut up, Brett. We know you know who Ronnie Wood is.
He's cutting butter. It's like Philip.
I don't want my
Grass.
restaurant to be a place where you come and eat. I want people to sit at that table and be sick with longing.
Okay, this is a good philosophy. He wants people to feel sick at his restaurant. Can you think
not
of
eat.
a crazier characteristic for a chef that to not only not want people to eat, but to feel sick without having eaten? Okay, this guy, I don't know if I want him in my house.
And then there's a.
But I do want to go to that restaurant.
You want to get sick?
The way he talks about it.
I mean, getting sick with I mean, this is something that we have talked about a little bit recently, but getting sick with longing, it sounds to me like he's talking about blue balls.
Sure, yeah. Or,
what else could that mean?
Or, yes, or longing is sometimes...
Of course.
an action.
It's
like...
Sick with...
If I'm longing that chick.
Sick... Oh, no, I thought you meant getting sick because your zone is longing too fast.
No, I know that too, but also if you're straight up longing someone, like that also can make them feel sick.
So it's an interesting thing for a chef, and this is what makes it so scary, that he wants people to go to his restaurant and I guess be made sick by either becoming long so quickly that I guess it hits the table too hard, or your version would be longing
a chick.
You've been Louisiana. Doing what? Sniffing, snorting, injecting.
He went to Louisiana and he did food like a drug. He injected some French toast or something.
Try to start a new restaurant. There are at least a dozen people who will try to have you killed.
He got punched. Someone threw an apron at him.
Yeah, well...
They say someone is going to try and have you killed, and then they show a woman sort of missing him with an apron.
Yes, and that is one nice thing. If you are a chef, you sometimes make a lot of enemies, and they are allowed to try to kill you, but they're not allowed to use any of the dangerous kitchen tools because as a chef, you're so respectful of like knives and stuff that you do have to use either an apron, maybe an egg beater, at worst like a plastic bowl, you know, for like a mixing bowl.
And so you can sort of hope that if the apron strings flew in such an exact way that they wrapped around somebody's throat and garroted them. Yes, created a makeshift noose.
And then they go to run after you like, don't throw that apron at me, and it yanks the noose tight around their neck.
But in this case, it just sort of grazes his shoulder and falls harmlessly to the floor.
It's the only place I've ever felt like I really belonged. I loved every minute of it. The heat, the pressure, the violence.
Throwing plates. Oh, God help you if you're a plate or a table in this movie. If you know a plate or a table, or you have any friends who are plates or tables, be careful, because not a single plate is going to survive this movie.
It's not a safe movie for plates or for tables. And we've been saying this from the beginning. And I now almost am on the side where I don't want to root for this character, but I do want to say this, Hayes. There's a moment where he talks about the kitchen being the only place he ever felt like he belonged. And I thought, that's me with movies and stuff like that. And we all have that, don't we?
We all
that
have
place where
places
we
like
felt
that.
at home.
Yeah.
That maybe seems crazy to someone else. The pressure, the heat, the violence of the kitchen or the movies place. For that to be where you're most comfortable in an area of discomfort. That's a character who's broken in a way I can relate to. Does any of this make sense?
For me, it's my home office. Being surrounded by my books, my pens. It's really the only place that I've ever really
paper fasteners
felt comfortable.
Those kind of butterfly clip things.
Yeah, and it's a kitchen too, and so
it is. Yeah,
and so on that level, I really connect to this character being forced to put my office in the kitchen by my now live-in girlfriend Carrie Ann Moss. And
Carry on, Moss.
Carry on. That's
a joke.
That's
they
just
do
for
with
us.
Each other.
Yeah. And Brett, you have Walgreens. It's like kind of your place.
Yeah, I remember seeing you holding court in Walgreens one day when I walked in to grab some chapstick. And it gave me a whole other image of you where here you're sort of this sniveling little weaselly loser who everyone just picks on, and you almost look like you're about to piss yourself whenever I see you. But when I walked into Walgreens, I thought, oh, that's a full adult man who has this sort of harem of they look to be very young, very overweight foreign women who were just hanging on your every word. And you were helping them pick out combs, and it was just really cool to see.
Why didn't you say hi, man?
I didn't want to spoil the moment. I don't
Right.
know if it's sort of like seeing your teacher at the grocery store.
Right.
For you.
The plate exploded.
What happens if you succeed?
Fireworks. Immortality.
What happens if you fail?
Table.
I can do it.
Adam Jones. Thank God. One hoped you were dead.
Plate.
Now I'm back.
Threw a plate. Now he's back.
You are looking at that all the time, yeah? You have eyes on it the whole time, so you hit the pass.
Yes, chef.
Yeah? Look at me. Yeah?
Yes,
You up
chef.
for it?
Yes, chef.
All right, let's go!
Yeah, chef.
And it ends in this like most badass way possible, where you can tell he's so mean because he goes up to the other chef and he says, "You're looking at that, right?" And she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "You are, right?" And she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's badass.
That kind of confrontation is like so heated. That's how crazy it can get in a kitchen, where you ask someone twice if they're doing something and they're like, "Yeah." You're like, "Okay, good."
And you're grilling them. And I got to say this. Grilling, chef. So I got to say this. So obviously this guy's a badass. People wished he was dead. He might be actually immortal. They don't make it clear if it's a metaphor or not. I think he's maybe really is one. But he's so badass and tough. And they want him dead, I think, because he doesn't play by the rules. Now, here's a distinction let's make. There's a difference between not playing by the rules and not knowing the rules. Mm-hmm. And some people think me and Hayes don't know the rules of podcasting. And maybe that's why Scott and Scott from You Talking You Two to Me want us dead.
We know
the rules,
sweetie.
We choose not to play by
Sweetheart,
them.
we know the rules.
Sugar, we knew the rules, okay?
The rule is don't put your tongue on the mic. How does this sound?
Does that sound good,
How does
everybody?
that sound?
How does that sound? That sound good? Like I'm not like I
okay.
just said the rule, so I know the rule, but I don't think I play by the rule.
Don't give it a big look.
That's a rule not to shock yourself. It's not about good podcasting.
Okay.
We know.
We know that. We know the rules and we know why they're rules.
We like it.
But it's so punk to get shocked.
Makes my hair like Johnny Rotten's hair.
So, just so you know, I think this chef does know the rules and he's ignoring them anyway.
Not
and that's
knowing
how
the
innovation
rules,
happens.
not knowing the rules and breaking them is like being Lenny from Mice and Men.
And being a yes.
Or Frankenstein is another example, just to tie in. We've been doing a lot of Halloween stuff.
Mm-hmm. Frankenstein
Another
doesn't
example
know the rules.
Does not know the rules.
That's why he's breaking them.
Mm-hmm.
He just knows he doesn't like fire. And actually, so sorry to do this, Hayes. But Frankenstein was the doctor. And I think you're talking about Dr. Frankenstein's monster.
It's such a. I mean, you're right. I just wonder. But I just wonder why you haven't mentioned that. We've said Frankenstein's hundreds of times on this show, and
I said it myself earlier.
And you.
But what you found out.
That's another great point that you did say it yourself.
What you found out is that I actually knew the rules. I just refused to play.
That's why
them.
You're breaking them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like this guy. He knows that plates are for food on, not wall throw.
Smash, yeah.
Yeah. Tables are for legs on the bottom, not for flip upside down. Yeah. More plates everywhere. And what are some other? Oh, and food. Restaurants are for eating, not for longing.
Sick with
chicks.
Longing some chick, yeah. So it is really a movie that I'm scared to see, but it's exciting, and I look forward to seeing Coop at the awards. Take Home the Hardware.
We have a great guest this week.
One.